Welcome to Xposure on RPTV. I'm Nicholas, your host, and today we have Tien Providence, a playwright and director, and today we'll be talking about his newest play, Just for a Moment. Welcome, Tien.
Welcome, Nicholas. Thank you very much, Nicholas.
Yeah. So can we talk a bit about how you got into the playwriting business and what inspired you?
Well, growing up in the Caribbean, I've always loved plays. People like legendary Caribbean writers like Derek Walcott, Earl Lovelace, plays like Moon on the Rainbow Shawl, Dream on Monkey Mountain. Those are plays that inspired me. I wanted to write. And even in my own local country, St. Vincent, we had Blazer Williams with a company called NAM that did annual showcase of plays every year. So that inspired me, along with people like James Baldwin, writers like James Baldwin, among others.
Okay, that's great. And what was the inspiration for your newest play, Just for a Moment?
Well, Just for a Moment, it's not really the newest play. I've written extra plays. This was written a while back after I just moved from St. Vincent to Canada. I was lots of music, like folk songs that had stories about people who've traveled and come back and they've had lost loved ones and so on and so forth. And this inspired me about a young Caribbean painter who wanted to be famous and he decides to move away. And so these were the inspiration from behind that. Songs, folk songs, general life.
Mm-hmm.
Just for a Moment is a story of love that somehow wants to be redeemed. Tell the story of David, a young painter who leaves his island home and travels to Canada to seeking success.
Ma'am, please. I was just clearing.
She looks nothing like me.
Oh my God. Monique, you came!
So it all boiled down to a decision between me and your art.
Yes. No, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't supposed to be like that.
Yeah, it was supposed to be you and me forever. That was our motto. I was supposed to be part of your dreams and any decisions you made.
It is the final day of his exhibition and she suddenly shows up and she's angry. And he also wants to meet Monique so that he could somehow explain what went wrong in the ensuing years.
Okay, so Tien, can you tell us a bit about the challenges that you faced while getting Just for a Moment into fruition?
Yes, one of the major problems is not having money to put up a production, right? And going out and finding actors, finding space to host it, to put it up. Fortunately, there's a whole storefront industry coming up where a lot of indie theaters can, get things at a cheap rate. You can work in a sort of co-production with the proprietor of the space. Mm-hmm. And with the mere fact that social media is now, a big thing in the world, right? You can use your Twitter, your Facebook to spread the word, whereas before you used to have to pay for radio time and, we won't talk about television time. That was being too expensive, out of the way. So and then you don't always have to have a publicist. A publicist helps, but if you can't afford, if you don't have the money to do that, you don't get grants or anything. You have to, try and get this out the word as easiest way as possible.
Yeah, sounds like a challenging but rewarding process.
Well, when you see the product, and the thing about it is when you see people, the reaction that you get from an audience sometimes, it's really, all the effort is like, it's just worth it.
Mm-hmm. So can we back up and go back to talking about your play? I kind of want to know about the process of writing a play. Like, is there a certain process that you go through?
You write the first draft, and it might take you 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And then you sit it down and you go back to it and piece by piece trash up your play and put it back together. And in this case of Just for a Moment, that's what I did, because when we did it in 1999, there was a lot of differences where I went back and researched the script and said, no, this is not necessary. This is necessary, because writing, as anyone would tell you, is rewriting.
Yeah.
Right, so it's always about rewrites. That. So I wouldn't say some people say it's isolated, but it's not, because you're living with people in your head. So these people are always talking to you, so you have fun inside your room in front of you. I usually write in pencil too for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I write out certain scenes in pencil. The ideas flow faster because I write faster than I type, so it helps.
So you mentioned that you have your own production company, All Things Fall Apart.
Yeah, Things Falling Apart, the theatre company we started, as I said, in 2013. Melinda Francis is the other half of it.
Yeah.
She does most of the technical work, the social media and all of that stuff. And to date, we have put up, this is the second play that we are producing together, and hopefully it's the beginning of something new, you know, and bringing a little more of our stories to the stage, to the Canadian stage. It's very hard to see stories of people from Africa or the Caribbean, or even, you know, on stage in Canada without you being a drug addict or a gangster or something like that. We have different lives, and this is the mission that Things Falling Apart has, to bring that sort of different things, so that children of, like, you know, your parents might have come from different countries in here, right? Because Canada, especially Toronto, the land of migrants, right? So it'd be nice to at least see something from where your parents came from, or whatever. So that is our mission, to have these kind of stories on stage in Canada. Okay,
well, thank you for coming to speak to us at Xposure on RPTV. It's been a great pleasure to hear about your play. Before we go, can you tell everyone where and when they can see your play?
Well, the play opens on Thursday, February 25th. It's at the Pierre Bauman Theatre, which is 6 Noble, which is right on just after the intersection of Dufferin and Queen West. So not too hard to find. You can take the streetcar once you get off at Dufferin. You just walk about 5 steps and you're at Noble, and you're there. And I'd like to tell folks that on the Wednesday after the opening, we're doing a night for Regent Park Focus. 20% of the proceeds will go back to the Regent Park Focus. And so come out and support.
Thanks, Tien, for coming in to speak about your play. If you'd like to learn more about it, you can go to www.thingsfallingapart.wordpress.com. Also, look out for his play Just for a Moment on RPTV, as we will be filming his production. This has been Xposure on RPTV. Thank you, signing off.